Welcome back. Honda Cadet for drivers from 11 years age is up next. I've got Miles Apps with me. Now, interestingly, Miles, there's only two independent drivers in this particular class this year. I think Luke Whitehead's one. Yeah. You're the other. Just you and your dad working this year. You've had a great season. Finished 11th last season in the championship, but I think you're in third place at the moment with a chance for second. How would you sum up your season so far? You happy with it?
Yeah, it's been quite good, to be honest. We've had a few rounds where we were a bit iffy, but yeah, we haven't stood on the podium yet, even though we're third. It's just consistency.
It'd be nice to see you on the podium this weekend if you can get it. What's your plans for next season? How old are you now?
I'm 12. I'm not sure about next season. I think we could do Honda again, but I'm not really sure. I'm just on the wait.
Okay, so if you're just on the way, yeah, it might be a bit difficult for you. If not Honda, possibly Minimax. And if it was Minimax, what do you make of the Academy series that's going to go ahead next year with pooled engines drawn by lots? Is that something you think you and your dad would want to do?
Well, I think that would actually be great because everyone's on a fair playing field. And yeah, we could do quite well on that because we're just on the budget. We haven't got a lot of money, so yeah.
I'm sorry to say the interview curse has struck Miles Apps. He's down on row 11 on the grid, so watch him charge through. Matthew Hopcraft and Tom Canning on row 1 from Rory Hudson and Matthew Hayden, with Mark Kimber and Ollie Hall on row 3. Keep an eye out for Luke Whitehead, just one row in front of the talented Cian Jewis. Whitehead, the highest privateer in the field on P12. He could be one to watch this afternoon. Away we go, down to the first corner, and everybody on the left side of the grid has made a flyer. So already into the lead comes Hopcraft from Hudson and Mark Kimber in third position. Great start from all those on the left. It looks like those on the right were half asleep as they ran down to the first corner. Down the Stratford straight. Look, this defensive line very early indeed from Hopcraft, and that's controversial. There's already been a briefing earlier today with a new directive in force. Alan was able to catch up earlier with Sean Babington, last year's senior Rotax champion, to tell us about it.
I think it's going to be really hard to police, to be honest. They're right by saying that it needs to stop. They need to do something about it because it's getting silly lately. I think the first heat today, or yesterday, there was the top 12 didn't change position the whole race. It's just sat on the inside the whole race, and I think the same for the second heat as well. But it's in every class. It's just getting silly, to be honest with you. It's not racing, but the way this track is, it's hairpins after hairpin. So you can sit on the inside and you can get away with it.
Still Hopcraft, Hudson and Kimber first, second and third. That briefing took place earlier in the day after lots of complaints from the drivers themselves, to be honest, about driving the inside line. You see they're not doing it now. Hopcraft will have got possibly a warning flag the first time. The directive from the clerk is that you'll get one warning flag, and if you do it a second time, a black flag will come out. But to be fair, the directive has worked. There's been no black flags, and the defensive driving has pretty much dropped off to zero. So we saw Matthew with a defensive line on the first lap there, didn't take it on the second lap. So the directive from the clerks has worked, and it will make for a lot better racing in the long term.
And that's exactly what we want to see. We don't want to see cheap tricks out there. We want to see hard, no-nonsense racing, and that's exactly what we've got out on track at the moment with these three up in front. Let's look a little further back to the battle for fourth position. It's Connor Grady battling with Tom Canning in the role for fourth position at the moment. Both men very close together, and they're actually catching these three ahead of them as well. We've got a great scrap for sixth position as well, with 5 men very much in the fight for that one. Just look at the pictures we're getting from the helicam buzzing overhead. There it is, in fact. Look, it's blowing about a bit in the breeze. But that gimbal underneath it is keeping a very clear position. That's giving us some great shots. So amazing what you can do with modern technology nowadays, and it's certainly benefiting us today. We've got a great battle on our hands. Hopcraft, Hudson and Kimber up in front, with Grady and Canning behind trying to close in, and we're capturing every element of this fight absolutely beautifully. Round the hairpin once again, and that is a gorgeous shot.
Cian Jewis there, he's now through to sixth place, and Cian, of course, is the champion coming into this round. He hasn't had to compete this weekend. He won the championship at round 5. There he is on the 3 karts. He's got a bit of work to do to catch the karts in front. There used to be a situation years ago where if you won the championship at round 5, nobody would ever turn up and race at round 6, because if you got excluded from the meeting or did something silly and got excluded and had to count that round, you could end up coming into the round leading the championship or having won the championship and then lose it. that a rule was made some years ago now, so that drivers that do win the round, or win the championship rather, at round 5, cannot then subsequently lose the championship whatever happens at round 6. And up the inside for 4th place is Tom Canning. That drops Conor Grady back one.
Yeah, Cian Jewis, great to see him at the race meeting. I didn't really like those days when the champion used to stay home. You're a racing driver. You don't want to miss a round if you don't have to. And no racing driver is going to want to stay at home when they know there's a race that they can quite happily compete for and win. So it's great to have that rule change. And what a fight we've got for victory. These three still nose to tail. They haven't changed positions at all. This is very strategic. Each driver trying to make their moment count. And Hudson has not really made that attempt for the lead yet. He's just sat behind Hopcraft. He wants to know what Matthew is going to do throughout the course of the race, what lines he's taking, where he's faster and slower through the corners. Then he's going to make that ultimate move. And behind him, Mark Kimber's not far away from that either. Through the hairpin, and again, no moves from the top 3. This is about biding your time and getting it right. You've got to make that move perfectly. And none of these drivers at the moment are willing to make that move. It's the last round of the championship. They don't want to get embroiled in a silly opportunity later into the race. And you can see these three still line astern, but they've pulled well clear of the battle for 4th position. So that's definitely given them some breathing space. And out in front, Hopcraft, Hudson and Kimber, they pulled well clear of Cian Jewis, who's now into 4th position, having got past Canning and Grady. So Cian Jewis, the newly crowned champion, is going to go out this season on a high.
Yeah, the only thing that I don't agree with is that Cian Jewis is not allowed to run the 1 plate this weekend. I'd like to see him be able to run the 1 plate. He is the champion, and the way things work in motorsport, especially in karting, when you do win a championship, it tends to come at the end of your cadet career, or the last time perhaps you race in a particular class. And Cian, I know, is going to be concentrating on the IARMI British Championship 2-stroke class next year. Won't be doing Honda Cadet, so it would have been nice to have seen him be able to run the 1 plate, but apparently he's not able to do that.
Interesting you say that, of course, because Hudson got to wear the GP plate the second he won that crown, and similarly, when you win the O plate, you get to wear that straight away. So, yeah, it's a very good point. Perhaps the 1 plate should be brought in as soon as you sew up the championship. But for whatever reason, Cian Jewis is still wearing the 3 for the time being as he closes in on this battle, and he's dragging a great crew along with him to try and grab a podium. Cian Jewis, very much the outside man here, but I've seen Cian's driving this year. You can never rule him out at any opportunity. All it takes is 1 whisker, and all it takes again is these 3 getting a little bit too close for comfort. We've got a great battle for the lower positions as up the inside comes Alex Lloyd on Klaas Koike. Now we've got this brilliant battle, 55. Riley Banks, and Thomas Pegram gets past Brandon Lovell, but nerfs him off as he does so. I don't think that was intentional. I think he just thought he had more of a space there than he did on Lovell, and I think that one might be a quick apology afterwards. But Lovell really getting the worst end of the stick there as his gap is decreasing between the leading 3 and the battle for 4th position, which was a 3-car train. It's now about a 7-car train. Let's look in the background and see when they come through. Hudson now trying to make his move on Hopcraft. Yes, he does, and it's nice. And through comes Kimber as well. Does he? Oh, Hopcraft, trying to make his way into 2nd place, shoving Kimber wide as Luke Whitehead grabs the fastest lap, 51.41. We said we needed to keep an eye out for him, and he's certainly doing that. Now we've got the battle for the lead going as Hudson tries to hang tough. He's defending from Hopcraft, and that's allowing Kimber an opportunity to try out some new lines. He tries to go right round the outside of both of them, and it doesn't quite pay off on that occasion. Kimber can sense an opportunity for victory here. Look, he's defending valiantly now as Hudson. They go into the final lap. Hopcraft in 2nd position, trying to get this lead back again. Hudson is very much the defensive man now, and Kimber is just trying to seize an opportunity here. Down to the hairpin once again. Is Hopcraft going to get an opportunity to come back? Hudson now defending. Here comes round the outside. Kimber is going to go and try and go the long way round. He doesn't quite make it. He doesn't get the undercut either. And again, the GP plate. There's a little bit of loading there from Hopcraft on the back of Hudson. I don't think, again, that was intentional. That was just he got plenty of momentum, and Hudson was prepared to defend the line to the last, and he's he's possessing that inside line. He is not giving anybody a whisker. Hudson knows he's got a chance to win this one. Kimber tries to go the long way round. Is he going to grab second place here? He's going to come from a long way back. He's going to be alongside, but he can't quite make it. Hudson takes the victory. Hopcraft is second. Kimber is third. Kian Jewis is going to lead that queue home. From the leading rookie Hayden, Samra, Canning and Grady. And if you thought 11th place didn't matter, it certainly does to Butterfield. Look how elated he is with it. Well done.
You started 5th today and finished 3rd. Tell us what the race was like for you.
Well, it was a tough race because the top 3 got away at the start and we just pushed till the last laps, and then we got to the end and we started having a battle in the last 2 laps, but I just couldn't get past in the end.
We had a really good start with Rory pushing us, and then Rory pushed us all the way to the end, apart from the last lap, and then he just got through on us.
Yeah, it was a really tough race. I mean, me, Matt and Mark pushed away and we got really far away, and then on about the second to last lap I took the lead and just defended it from there.
Good job, Rory. Good defence and great battling from the front of the field to the back in that race. But here's the final confirmation. Kian Jewis is the champion. Rory Hudson is best of the rest. Miles Apps just getting 3rd position ahead of Matthew Hopcraft, with Mark Kimber and the leading rookie, Matthew Hayden, rounding out the top 6. What a season for the Honda Cadets. It's been fantastic.